North Korea has unveiled new and smaller nuclear warheads. This comes as the country's leader, Kim Jong-un, called to ramp up the production of weapons-grade nuclear material. This is to grow the country's arsenal. Kim Jong-un also examined North Korea's nuclear counterattack operation plans. North Korea has recently been ramping up military tests and firing short-range ballistic missiles. A Ukrainian commander has said that the country is trying to exhaust and inflict heavy losses on Russian forces trying to capture the city of Bakhmut. He said that Russia continues to focus on Bakhmut after months of battle. He told soldiers that the goal is to eliminate as many Russian troops as possible and create conditions to begin counter-offensive actions. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has said that Russian troops are holding the nuclear power plant in Zaporizhzhia hostage. He added that safety cannot be guaranteed until Russian troops leave. His remarks come as a team of the International Atomic Energy Agency reached Ukraine to visit the plant. This is Europe's largest nuclear power plant. It has been under the Russian control since early weeks of the invasion. Germany has delivered 18 Leopard 2 tanks to Ukraine. The country is preparing to send more tanks. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz made the announcement during his trip to the Netherlands. Germany, Denmark and the Netherlands will finance the tank repairs. Earlier, Scholz had insisted that the US had to deliver Abrams battle tanks to Ukraine if Germany sends Leopard 2 tanks. The Hungarian parliament has ratified Finland's bid to join NATO. 182 lawmakers voted in favor, while 6 voted against the move. This means that 29 out of 30 NATO member states have ratified Finland's membership. The last member, Turkey, is expected to approve Finland's NATO membership next month. The border between Finland and Russia stretches over 1,000 kilometers. Finland applied for NATO membership after Russia invaded Ukraine. NATO troops held evacuation drills on the Romanian coast, close to the Ukrainian border. The naval forces practiced evacuating civilians from coastal areas in the Danube Delta. It's an area that borders Ukraine's Odessa region. Odessa has witnessed a number of missile strikes since Russia launched a full-scale war last year. The drills are part of the Sea Shield 23 exercise. It involves more than 3,000 troops from NATO countries. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has announced that he would delay the controversial judicial overhaul plan. He will seek more time to reach a compromise on the proposal. Opposition parties in Israel have said they would work to reach an agreement if the government is sincere. The judicial reforms have been suspended after weeks of protests. Netanyahu's decision to fire the country's defense minister for opposing his plan triggered even more protests. 3 children and 3 staff members have been killed in a school shooting in the U.S. state of Tennessee. The 28-year-old suspect, identified as Audrey Hale, once attended the same school. Hale was armed with 3 guns, including a semi-automatic rifle, and was shot dead by the police. The motive behind the shooting is under investigation. There have been 89 school shootings in the U.S. in 2023 alone. U.S. President Joe Biden has called upon the Congress to pass a law that bans assault weapons. He called the latest school shooting incident sick and said that the U.S. needs to do more to stop gun violence. U.S. First Lady Jill Biden also condemned the shooting. She said, and I quote, "Our children deserve better." China has issued a report on human rights violations in the U.S. in the year 2022. The report said, and I quote, "Chronic diseases such as money politics, racial discrimination, gun and political violence, as well as wealth polarization are rampant in the U.S. The report pointed out that the U.S. is a country defined by extreme violence and that the people are threatened by violent crime and violent law enforcement. Chinese President Xi Jinping held a telephonic conversation with Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. She said that China is ready to work with Saudi Arabia to make all-out efforts in building a China-Arab community. He added that China wants to contribute more to peace, stability and development in West Asia. China recently brokered a peace deal between Saudi Arabia and Iran. 20 people have been killed and 29 people have been injured in a bus crash in Saudi Arabia. The incident took place in the Asir province. Reports say that a technical issue in the bus led to the crash. A senior Honduran official has said that Taiwan must vacate its embassy in Honduras within 30 days. This comes after the country established diplomatic ties with China. Deputy Foreign Minister Antonio Garcia said, and I quote, "30 days is more than enough time to pack up and leave." He added that officials aim for an orderly and friendly exit. China considers Taiwan a part of its own territory and has threatened to claim it by force. Taiwan's President Tsai Ing-wen is seeking to build closer ties with the Czech Republic. This comes as Honduras built diplomatic ties with China. A 150-person Czech delegation is in Taipei. Tsai said that Taiwan and the Czech Republic have both been through authoritarian rule and deeply understand that democracy has not come easy. She added that the two countries can become firm partners to uphold democracy and freedom. Pakistan's drug regulatory authorities' controversial pricing policy and the depreciating local currency have led to an acute shortage of life-saving medicines in the country. This is according to a new report. Pakistan is facing a major economic crisis. The country is under high external debt. While most oral medicines like syrups are locally produced, Pakistan imports a majority of vaccines and anti-cancer medicines. The United Nations has said that a prominent education activist who supports Afghan girls' education was arrested in Kabul this week. The UN has called upon the Taliban administration to give a reason for his detention and clarify his whereabouts. The Taliban have banned most girls from high schools and women from universities. Air quality in northern Thailand has climbed to hazardous levels. This comes as a result of seasonal agricultural burning. More than 4,000 hotspots have been detected in northern Thailand in the past 24 hours. Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha has said that he has mobilized relevant agencies to reduce the pollution's impact on the public. The South American country of Bolivia is facing devastation caused by floods. This was triggered after a river's banks burst following torrential rains. In some cities, residential streets have turned into rivers. Last month, torrential rains and floodwaters displaced more than 5,000 people. At least 7 people have been killed and 23 are injured in a landslide in the South American nation of Ecuador's Andean region. The landslide was triggered by heavy rains. Rescue workers have been deployed to search for survivors. Heavy rains recently destroyed roads, bridges and other infrastructure across Ecuador. Earlier this month, the country's president declared a state of emergency in 14 provinces affected by severe weather and a strong earthquake. Parts of eastern Spain are witnessing wildfires. They're boosted by winds and dry weather conditions. Emergency services have asked some of the towns to be cleared. The country's prime minister has said that unseasonal warm weather is a consequence of climate change. Spain is experiencing a long-term drought after 3 years of below-average rainfall. A federal judge has temporarily blocked Voyager Digital's sale to Binance US. Crypto brokerage firm Voyager had proposed a $1.3 billion sale to Binance. The US government has now requested more time to explore the legality of the takeover. The judge argues that the sale could involve unregistered securities and violations of US securities law. Disney is set to eliminate their entire Metaverse team of 50 employees. The Metaverse unit was aimed towards interactive storytelling in immersive formats using Disney's extensive library of intellectual property. Disney said it would make $5.5 billion cuts amid growing pressure to reduce costs and cutting on expensive projects devoid of near-term value. At least 100 people have been affected as GitHub sacks its entire India engineering team. GitHub is a Microsoft-owned open-source developer platform. It had announced that it would lay off 10% of its entire global workforce in February. GitHub said the layoffs are difficult but necessary. Media reports suggest Meta will cut bonus pay for some of its employees. The social media giant has made some changes to its performance procedure. Employees who get a rating of met most expectations in their yearly review will now receive a smaller percentage of the bonus payout. The company will also restrict 2024 stock awards for some of its staff. The tech giant is also set to introduce staff performance assessment twice a year. Ride-hailing firm Lyft's founders Logan Green and John Zimmer will step down. Board member David Risher will assume the role of CEO. The decision comes after the company's weak quarterly forecasts. The firm also faces strong competition and pressure from rival Uber. Lyft has trimmed its losses over the years, but has never reported an annual profit. Amazon has failed to quash 3 lawsuits brought by its delivery drivers in the UK. Amazon's British drivers are seeking employment rights, including minimum wage and holiday pay. More than 1,400 drivers are suing the e-commerce giant, demanding it to recognize them as employees rather than contractors. Amazon maintains that it has no contractual relationship with the drivers. English football club Chelsea posts a loss of almost $149 million for the 2021-22 season. The club says it's collateral damage from the war in Ukraine. It has blamed extraordinary expenses and a loss of revenue after sanctions were imposed on former owner Roman Abramovich. The Russian billionaire put the club up for sale last March following the start of the Ukraine war. Alphabet has approached a federal judge to dismiss a lawsuit against Google. The lawsuit accuses Google of abusing its dominance in the online advertising market. The lawsuit also calls for breaking up Google's ad technology business. The Ad Manager suite is one of Google's main sources of income. Google has argued that the government has defined the online advertising market incorrectly and excluded powerful competitors like Facebook. The Biden administration has implemented strict guidelines against commercial spyware use. The new regulation will allow the government to ban spyware from vendors who have previously targeted US citizens. The new, stricter regulations are encouraging surveillance firms to behave or face blacklisting. Elon Musk's brain implant company Neuralink has approached one of the biggest US neurosurgery centers for human trials of its devices. Neuralink has been developing brain implants since 2016. It hopes to cure conditions like paralysis and blindness. The company is preparing to test its devices on humans once it receives regulatory approvals. The US Food and Drug Administration had earlier rejected its application to carry out human trials, citing safety concerns. Lionel Messi has been honored with his statue alongside Diego Maradona and Pelé after Argentina's World Cup win. The statue is built at the South American Football Federation headquarters. Messi captained Argentina to win the 2022 FIFA World Cup. He also recently achieved the feat of scoring 800 goals in a friendly win over Panama. Argentina's training complex has also been renamed after Messi. France beat Ireland 1-0 to win their second Euro 2024 qualifier in Dublin. Right-back Benjamin Pavard scored a goal with 30 minutes remaining in the game. French goalkeeper Mike Maignan saved 2 shots on goal in the final 2 minutes of the match. French World Cup star Kylian Mbappe failed to score a goal. Canada football coach John Herdman has said that his side is expecting to win against Honduras. The match will determine which team qualifies to the CONCACAF Nations League finals in Las Vegas. A draw would put Canadians through to CONCACAF, but a loss will result in their elimination. Herdman told reporters they plan to win at any cost as they campaign for their first CONCACAF Nations League title. Sachin Tendulkar is poised to play in Mumbai Indians' opening IPL match. He's likely to replace Jasprit Bumrah as the pacer recovers from a back injury. Sachin Tendulkar did not get a chance to play a single game in IPL 2022 despite Mumbai Indians' horrific season. Tendulkar will provide the team a left-handed seam bowling option while also being a reliable batting option. LA Lakers star LeBron James has returned to the basketball court after a month-long absence. James was out of the court for a month due to a foot injury. He's averaging 29.5 points, 8.4 rebounds, and 6.9 assists in his 5th season with the Lakers. The Lakers declared James available for their game against the Chicago Bulls after a pre-game workout. The International Weightlifting Federation chief has said he's ready to submit a reforms report, hoping to earn back a spot at the Olympics. The International Olympic Committee has previously dropped weightlifting following years of corruption, doping and governance scandals. Longtime weightlifting president Tamas Ajan was banned for life in 2020 for covering up doping cases. Australian F1 driver Daniel Ricciardo has made a spectacular return to his own backyard. He took a Red Bull Formula One car for a spin across some of the country's most iconic locations. The adventure started in the Wild West before heading to Seacliff Bridge and finishing at Australia's most famous racetrack, Mount Panorama. Ricciardo's return to his country coincides with the Australian Grand Prix later this week. F1 chief Stefano Domenicali has repeated his desire to see practice sessions removed from the race weekend structure. He asserted that fans watching on TV are generally not interested in watching practice sessions. At a normal Grand Prix, there are 3 practice sessions before qualifying on a Saturday and the main event on the Sunday. The International Olympic Committee board is discussing whether or not to reinstate Russia and Belarus into the international sport after they were banned. Russia and Belarus were banned from the Olympics following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. IOC held numerous consultations with national Olympic committees, international federations, athlete representatives, and its own members to decide whether Russia and Belarus should return. Alexandra Zantaki, a United Nations expert advising the International Olympic Committee, has provoked outrage. She says that Russian soldiers who have fought in Ukraine should be allowed to compete at the Paris 2024 Games as long as they have not committed war crimes. The IOC is expected to offer updated guidelines to sports about how Russian and Belarusian athletes can qualify for Paris. Calvin Klein has roped in BTS singer Jungkook as its new global ambassador. The K-pop singer features in the brand's Spring 2023 collection. A teaser shows Jungkook in a denim-on-denim look. Jungkook becomes the 4th BTS member to land a luxury brand partnership. 50/50 become the fastest group to enter the Billboard Hot 100 in K-pop history. The band's viral song Cupid entered the chart just 4 months after their debut. The song entered the chart at number 100. The K-pop band New Jeans held this record previously. Their song Ditto entered the Billboard Hot 100 6 months after their debut. Cannes Film Festival has invited Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. The film is expected to premiere at the festival on the 17th or 18th of May. This will be the franchise's return to Cannes after 15 years. This could be actor Harrison Ford's last time playing the titular character. The film releases in theaters on June 30th. Actors Samuel L. Jackson and Vincent Cassel will play leads in the action thriller Damaged. The story follows a Chicago police officer who travels to Scotland to solve a murder. Filming is currently underway in Scotland. Martin Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon will release in October. The film will have a limited release on the 6th of October. The worldwide release will be on October 20th. The film will also be streamed on Apple+. The film stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro and Brendan Fraser. Singer Madonna has added 8 more dates to the US leg of her global tour. A new show has been scheduled for Nashville on December 22nd. Madonna will put the spotlight on Tennessee's anti-LGBTQ+ bills. She will donate a portion of the proceeds to a trans rights organization. The Nashville show will be held at the Bridgestone Arena. Kelly Clarkson has announced her Los Angeles residency dates. Chemistry, an intimate night with Kelly Clarkson, will open on the 28th of July. The singer has planned 10 performances till August 19th. The residency will take place at Buck Theatre at Planet Hollywood. Tickets will be available from the 31st of March. Swiss documentary film festival Visions du Reel has announced its lineup. A total of 163 films from 46 countries will be screened at the festival. There will be 37 Swiss productions in the showcase. The 54th edition of this festival will run from April 21st to April 30th. The festival will take place in Nyon, Switzerland. Tully and Kate will finally reunite in the final season of Firefly Lane. The trailer for the final season was released on March 27th. The trailer shows the estranged best friends Tully and Kate reuniting. The show stars Katherine Heigl and Sarah Chalk. The 7-episode final season will begin on April 27th on Netflix. Netflix gets a legal notice for Episode 1, Season 2 of The Big Bang Theory. The legal notice has been sent by Indian political analyst Mithun Vijayakumar. He claims the episode uses a derogatory term against actor Madhuri Dixit. He claims the content promotes sexism and misogyny. He has asked Netflix to remove the episode or face legal action.